Hello everyone! I just wrapped up making Adventures in August card, and I was using the Spellbinders Time Offline paper pad. This was a kit that I got, I think in November of 2022, and I have been working trying to use it all up, and I was looking through the paper that's left, and I saw a couple pieces of paper in here, and I thought, I would never use this. It's like thermoses. I'm like, how can I use this? And then I had an idea. And so I thought I would just bring it to my craft table and just show you how I would use this. Just kind of an unusual paper pattern. And I was like, you know, when are you ever going to make a card with thermoses on it? But I've got an idea and we're going to give it a whirl. If I can get it organized here. Like I said, I just got finished making another card. So I need to find my little, there it is, my little score tool. And so I'm making this a top fold. So I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then I'll just have my card base. Okay, so I was thinking, because this paper has like a little black in it on one of the lids to the thermos, that I would bring some black in. And so that's kind of why, and it's going to kind of look Halloween-y because it's orange and black. So I think I've got a card base ready. Yes, I do. And this is Spellbinders brushed black cardstock, and I love it. I mean, this stuff is really solid. Both sides look gorgeous, and I'm going to use it. I almost hate to use it because it's such good paper, but I'm going to. So, and the reason why I'm using this is I decided that I would make my own sentiment, and I got my Cricut out, and I did a search. And I was searching in the phrases area on your canvas. And I just searched out for, I have a t-shirt that I wear that I like, and I get a lot of comments on it. It says, "Coffee Saves Lives." And so I thought, I wonder if there is a pre-made sentiment in Cricut that says "Coffee Saved Lives." So I searched for "Coffee Saves Lives," and I found one. So I actually cut one out. I've got it on the mat. I'll just bring it in here real quick and show you "Coffee Saves Lives." And I'm going to try and pick that up and put that down on my card. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to try. I'm going to just pause for a minute and use one of my A2 matting basics to cut a frame edge on this paper so that I can lay it down. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just used one of my A2 layers just to kind of cut that down. And I'm going to let some of that black show through there because I like it. However, I could probably layer it with some, I'm not sure that's the right color orange, so I'm not going to do that. I'm thinking, let's see, how would this look? It's a pretty good edge on there. I've got a little darker orange here that I could add. And I'm going to look at I've got a couple little pieces of ephemera that I'm going to bring in. And I think that could work. So I'm going to use a bigger size A2 because I got a little bit more black exposed than what I originally planned. And I think another layer would just add to it. So I'm going to pause again, grab another A2 die, and cut out another layer. Okay, I had to take a little break with my husband and go get that new shampooer for the floor so we could get that taken care of. So we ran and did that, and we also grabbed some dinner. And we have tried to suck up the excess water and re-shampoo, and so we're still drying now. But anyway, before we went, I stumbled across this piece of paper here that I had, and I thought it was a better color. I actually cut it with a die cutting machine down to the right panel. It was kind of bumpy, and it's got kind of a flaw there. So I thought, and I don't know if how this will work or not, but I thought I would go ahead and run it through an embossing folder. This is the 3D Beveled Diamonds embossing folder, and I thought since it's a little bit bumpy and messy that I would run it through that, and then I'll use it for my base. I just feel like it matches the color better on these items, so I'm going to use it instead of this brighter color. So I'm going to hop over to my die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I've ran this through my die cutting machine, and we've got a little texture to that now, and you can't really see how that piece of paper was just all, well, really just a hot mess. It had been laying on my table for far too long. but it's got a little bit of something right there. Don't know what that is, but it won't matter because we're going to layer on top of it. Probably not going to see much of this embossing, but I just feel better since it's a little bit straighter. Now I just need to grab, and it's probably somewhere on my desk here. There it is. Some of my foam tape. And this is just dollar store foam tape. I'm just going to lay some down and give this thing some stability. It's going to pop up a little bit, so we'll have a little bit of dimension to our card. Now, what did I do with my... Okay. I think I took my non-adhesive scissors in the other room because I was working on something in there. So I'm going to have to run grab them real quick. Okay, so I've got them. I'm back in business. All right. So I'm going to snip this off. Looks like I got a little hair there. Oh, it's not very straight. Okay, there we go. And I'll just do 3 strips. One down the middle, one on each side, and that should be sufficient. Sometimes I get a little crazy with my foam tape. So I think this will be enough. I just love this diamond, double diamonds embossing folder. Oh my gosh, it just looks awesome. I really like it. Anyway, so we'll just peel this up. Get it laid down. Yeah, this pattern paper, I just didn't dream that I'd have any use for it at all. I'm like, what am I going to do with a pattern paper that has a bunch of thermoses on it? And so that's when I decided to use the sentiment that I have on my t-shirt that everyone really compliments me on, Coffee Saves Lives, and to make a card with that. So now this, I'm just going to use my tape runner on the pattern paper and try to get it laid down nicely. I think that looks good. Now I'm going to bring in my cinnamon. I got to get it on there before I add any of these embellishments if I do, because I need to make sure my spacing is right. But don't you think that piece of paper that I found, that scrap piece of paper I found, really matches this better? I really think it does. I was going to use, this, and I just think this, it's got a little bit more red in the orange, and I think it just matches a lot better. So, okay. So next is going to be tricky. Now I have seen people do this, where they will take their tape, and my F fell off, so I'm going to move it and get it where it needs to go. Because I actually had somebody at my door, and I went to get it, and I bumped it as I was going, and my E and my F moved. So I've seen people do this, and I don't know if I can be successful at it, but where you take your tape and lay it down on there, and maybe it works okay when you're not on a Cricut mat. I don't know, but we'll see. This is a standard grip adhesive mat, and it's pretty sticky. So I'm hoping that I can pull this cinnamon off with this tape and keep it in the same order so that I can get it laid down exactly like I want to. So we're about to see if this is going to work or not. Oh, there we go. Haha. It did work. Marvelous. Okay, marvelous. Okay, so now my plan is, now that I've got it on there, and I don't know how this is going to work, is to get some tape, or some glue, and put some glue on my cardstock, and then try to get it laid down and then pull the tape off. So that's what I'm shooting for. So we will see if I have success. I've never done this method before, and I would love for it to work. So I'll put some glue down. I'm going to speed this up because it's going to take a minute. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. Now, I need to get this situated. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm just going to try and set it down. I think I'll put it kind of right justified and toward the bottom. And that'll leave me some room for some embellishments. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this will work for me. So we're going to give it a shot. I guess it's just like using transfer tape with your vinyl. And I don't think I got my little I dotted, but I'm okay with that because I can lift that piece up simply enough and put it down, I think. So let's just see. Yeah, it's working very much like my vinyl works. Yeah, there's my, I'm going to tell you what, right now I'm just going to put the glue on there, lay that baby back down, and then we'll go from the other side and see if we can get that little dot to stay down. And we did. Wow, that worked. Very nice. I've seen it done, haven't done it. I'm glad it works. There we go. So I just, with my Cricut, I just went into Cricut Design Space and I went into the canvas and I went into phrases and I typed "Coffee Saves Lives" because that's what my t-shirt says. And scaled it down. I think I did 2 inches, and I think it was 2 by 1.96 is what it wound up being. And then I just cut it on this brushed black Spellbinders cardstock on heavy cardstock and more pressure. And I ran it through 2 passes to get it to cut right. And it cut very well. So that's what you need to do for that. And it's in there. It's, let me see. I wonder if it's, I'm not sure. Let me look. I don't know. If you have Cricut Access, I think it's probably free. If you don't, let me look here in my phrases. If you don't have Cricut Access, I'm going to tell you here in a minute. I'm just into backing up. It doesn't show a cost on it, so I don't know. But it does show that it's Access. So you might have to pay a little bit for it, but I'm sure it wouldn't be very much. But I thought it would be really cute on here and give me a reason to use this paper. So I think I'm going to do maybe something like that. I don't know. I think I'm going to pop them up too. So I've got some foam. Let's just use this foam tape here and we'll just pop it up. Actually, I can probably go just like that. And then maybe cut a little tiny piece for the top of it. And we'll get that popped up. I think it could be cute. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I know my mornings start with coffee. I mean, the kids come early. They come at 6:45. Generally, sometimes she's running a little bit behind it. And I like to have had at least 10 ounces of coffee before they have arrived. So I do love my coffee. So I thought this would be cute. Honestly, if I'd have thought of anything else in a thermos, I probably would not have used this piece of pattern paper. But I typically, I remember the old days when the men used to carry it, to the factory in a thermos like that. So I know, times have changed. But, and I think I'm going to put these down because I thought those would look cute. So I'm going to pop them up too. So this would be cute. All right. So I've got another piece of this pattern paper, and I have another mug and another coffee pot. And so I thought I might just make 2 of them and use this up. So we shall see. If I do, I'll put it in the picture. Might be just a little bit different. So here's my card. I think it's cute. Let me know what you think. I think it's fun, and I would have never used that piece of paper. I kept looking and looking and looking at it, and I just didn't see a use for it. And then it came to me. So let me know what you think. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so I decided to use some of the remnants from the first card to make another card, since I do have that additional die cut and stuff that I mentioned. So I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm going to lay this panel down. And this is going to be a little bit different. I'm just showing you a couple ways that we can use this. Just get this laid down. Maybe. Straighten it up. Oh, this one's, I got a little white edge on here. I guess I used a smaller die than what I realized, but that's okay. We can work with that. So we've got a little white edge, top, bottom, sides. We'll go with that. Okay, then what I did was I went ahead and took a smaller die and die cut it out to where you can see a little bit of our thermoses. This is just a different look. And we'll just, I'm kind of going back and forth between my paper and my glue and my tape runner, but I think it'll be all right. And I'm just going to try and get this laid down as nicely as I can. And this is just a real quick card. Lay that down, that looks good. And then I have the outside of the Coffee Saves Lives, the piece of paper that I die cut it from. I've got a little bit of a rough edge on there, but I think once I glue it down, I'll be able to straighten it up. So I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm going to glue this down. And there, we've got our, I don't know, what was left of our, when we cut our cinnamon out, we've got what was left of it here. And now we're ready to add our embellishments. And we've got just the same thing. We've got our coffee pot. I think I'm going to do it similarly. Okay, so we'll get these laid down real quick, and this will wrap up our card. I think I'm going to do it like that. I think it's cute. Okay, so here's our two cards. We've got our Coffee Saves Lives, where we pulled the die cut out. And then this is the reverse of it, and I think they're super cute. So thanks for watching. I really enjoyed making these cards. I hope you enjoyed them too. Take care. Bye-bye.